We've come out to a military cemetery called Clouston, I think, and Liz did a bit of homework. We were looking for Willie Aitkin. Oh wow, we found him straight up.
Oh, that's wonderful. And it's so nice.
Yeah.
Look at this original.
Yes. So I became aware of Willie from the Heathcote monument, which is a fantastic one, Willie. They've really remembered you in Heathcote. You got a magnificent marble monument outside of the town hall, so you're very prominent in Heathcote. And your tombstone says you were killed in action at Colenso with Thornycroft's mounted infantry. That gives that date, and it's got a saying something about "ne'er more weep for me, I died a soldier's death." I'm paraphrasing there, Willie. Oh, it's fantastic to meet you. Wish I had an Australian coin or something, Liz.
Sorry?
If I had an Australian coin, I'd leave it for him, but
Yeah.
here I am. My mate Willie. And Collingwood won the flag this year, Willie. Leaving Willie's section and heading up to a memorial. That's very neat, very clean, no vandalism at all here, which is makes no rhyme or reason. Maybe they're more out of the way here, but it stretches a long way. There's a cross way off there in the corner. These are victims of the Battle of Colenso, where we're going next, I think. That's so South African, that image, all the rocks, and there's those aloes. Oh, they're flowering. They probably only flower a few days a year. This has been damaged a bit.
Buller had his headquarters here. You can read that there, and for the Battle of Colenso, okay? And as I mentioned when we were at Chivoli, the field hospital, so they went from here to the field hospital. A few are buried here, but mainly back, well, those buried at Chivoli actually died of fever, yeah.
Wow, that's fantastic.
This
I wasn't
monument
expecting.
Stood at also at Colenso, where we're going, the site of the guns. It's very run down there now, but this was originally there and moved here because the town was submerged.
The Royal Battery, who on the spot lost their lives fighting for their guns. I didn't know that we're on the spot of Buller's headquarters. Wow.
originally a brass toposcope here, which explained everything to you, but it's been stolen. But from here then on, from the 15th of December, Buller conducted the early part of the Battle of Colenso, and he was positioned on a hill on our left here. They had guns, and then in the hills opposite, which you see are very high, you had all the Boers were spread in these high hills.
Yeah.
All the way down to, there's some cooling towers. You see those?
Yeah, I do.
That is the town, little town or little village of Colenso. That's very close to where the guns were situated. So you can see you're trying to cover quite a large area.
Yeah.
And the British were in the vicinity before the actual battle, and they would fire off shells, I think lyddite they said, and make a heck of a noise, but the Boers did not respond. They kept quiet, so the British were unaware where they were in this very vast expanse here. But early in the morning then, the plan from here was for General Hart to cross the Tugela River. You can't actually quite pick it up from here, but not far ahead of us, the Tugela River, and it was in the loop of the river there, and it was supposed to,
like a horseshoe,
to cross over a drift. And he missed it, or he didn't listen, and he led his men into the loop in close formation, and when they got to the end of that loop, the Boers then opened on fire. They were just on the opposite bank of the Tugela. The Tugela itself was also, they rolled up barbed wire and put it in the river. And the Boers opened fire, and they overshot the first lot, but the second lot wiped out, and the firing wiped out the Hart's Irish regiment, and they had to be pulled back here and come back, and Buller was beside himself. The whole beginning of this battle had all gone terribly wrong, and he said to Littleton, "Go and get Hart out, he's got himself in one devil of a mess." And out they staggered to come out here, many killed in the loop, and many badly wounded. This action of the loop, of crossing the river here and to get to the other side, was to coincide with the guns blasting the Boers on the opposite side, and the British were to cross there. Do you understand? They'd to be across the river, and hip hip hooray, they'd all get to Ladysmith. Well, it all went terribly wrong here. And Buller made his way on horseback down towards Colenso itself to find that history repeating itself, and everything went terribly wrong down there. So we'll go down there and have a look. So you can see it's very difficult terrain. It's a vast area to cover.
It's a big front. It's a long front.
It's a long front, and although the British had far more men on hand, they weren't all in, but they had far more men available than the Boers. The Boers never had more than 3,500 men up there.
3,500 Boers on those slopes.
Had the advantage of, they were here in advance, they could see what they were up to, and they placed their guns very, very well.
And they were dug in, were they?
They dug in, they placed the guns well.
Classic.
They used them for maximum effect,
and remember,
disaster for.
And this was mid-December.
15th of December.
So about a month before Speenkop.
A month and say 10 days. Or 9 days.
So after Colenso, Buller's licking his wounds. Oh, great. Okay. Some more Freddy. We love our Freddy. Hey, this is a great spot. Hasn't been ruined much. Oh, I'm getting tired now.
Well, that was also moved from Colenso and down here.
That's been moved, that monument. So hopefully Liz can take us to where the guns were captured by the Boers and where Freddie lost his life, or was wounded mortally. This is nice.
He was wounded.
Ah.
Mortally wounded. Okay. That was originally
Lieutenant Honorary Roberts VC, buried in Shively Military Cemetery. We just come from there. This monument was bought in 1964, site at which this gallant gentleman, son of a brave and distinguished soldier, was mortally wounded, has been submerged with the extension of the town of Colenso. Original site has been marked. Well, that doesn't fill me with optimism about finding the spot. Can we find the spot?
What? Yeah, we can when we go to the site of the guns. Okay.
Okay.
It's in Colenso.
Alright, brilliant. Just another one of the memorials for the men at Colenso.
That was a local family grave. Natal Carboniers.
Might be a local man. Herbert Noakes Jenner, Colenso. That's beautiful. They could not know the splendour of their dying. That's a soldier in the arms of an angel.
Yeah.
I think
It needs.
and there's a touch of paint. The big
The Carbonier cross was damaged, so that's a new
Warren, youngest son of Reginald Augustus Warren of East Preston, Sussex, who fell at the Battle of Colenso, the Carbineers, the Natal Carbineers. And here's another one, 24-year-old PR80 Pete, Troop Pete. Very sad. Then we've got one more with the Irish Celtic cross down the end here.
This is Captain Hughes, I think, the medical man who died.
You can see the path we walk on, studded with these infernal rocks of South Africa. I thought our place had a lot of rocks. Nothing compared to this. Matthew Louis Hughes, Captain, Royal Army Medical Corps, killed at the Battle of Colenso. He was a pioneer in the field of bacteriology. He was working on a vaccine for typhoid, and if he could have finished it, then he might have saved many lives. That's a beautiful Celtic cross. Another casualty of Colenso. Okay, hopefully we're going to go and see where the guns fell now. Yeah, I pointed out as we were walking across, there's a lonely little grave all on its own right in the corner for some reason. Private web of the Fusiliers, and it's got that date 15th to the 12th, which we know is Colenso. I found that coin. That's 2 rand.
Oh, where'd you find it?
Over there. We'll give that to fella on his own, but you can see how far away he is from all the other graves. Still at the graveyard at Colston for the soldiers of Colenso, and these are the Inniskillings, the Irish Fusiliers, Colenso. Major Charlie, Captain Loftus, Privates Rowe, Kennedy, Rorison, McQuillan, Mullen, of the 1st Battalion, the Royal Inniskilling Fusiliers, Battle of Colenso. Unknown soldiers, and here's another captain, Loftus, Colenso. Quite a small grave. And Major Charlie, 2nd in command, 27th Inniskillings, Colenso. What a beaut cemetery. Anyway. Yeah. Trees are probably 100 years old, 120 when they were put here with the men. The Scots.
A lot of Scotch Fusiliers.
Do you know how many men they lost at Colenso, Liz? Off the top of your head? Rough estimate?
Oh. No, the Boers only lost 6.
Yeah.
And I think the British lost 200 or more, and many wounded, yeah.
Was this part of Black Week?
Yes, it was. It all happened Black Week. It was all in that period of time, so everything went wrong.
We're crossing the Tugela on a beautiful old bridge, 1879, we said. There's the mighty Tugela, which gave Buller quite a number of headaches. Yes.
Oh, right. I want to see if the monument thing is still there. I want to see if it's in the heritage monument thing.
But it's still there.
What do you call it? Heritage.
Yeah. Of course, it's brass, so it went.
Yeah, you see.
Oh yeah, you can just see it here.
Was there, yeah. But there's the wording.
There's wording. Bridge cost of £19,000 maybe. Opened traffic.
Time.
October 1879. Jeez, that is old.
Yeah.
So the British would have come over here.
Yeah, wonderful bridge. Look at the construction in those times.
On the side of the railway, overgrown and forgotten, is where the guns were lost at the Battle of Colenso. There's all these little white markers here. They look like they might have had names of probably the artillerymen that lost their lives trying to save the guns. But looks like the nameplates have been taken.
Another one.
Hoping for my luck. Names have all gone, have they?
Plaques are missing on here, but this is where Freddie Roberts fell here. But we're looking now at the site of the guns, where the 12 guns were placed on the 15th of December, and under Long, Colonel Long. And this action was to coincide with the action down at Clouston, where Hart led his men, who should have crossed the river but went into the loop. And Long was out here early in the morning, and I think he took his guns too far in to start with, and then they overshot the mark where the Boers were. Now the Boers, can you see that line of trees and the pylons there?
Yeah.
The Tugela River runs there, and the Boers were just on the other side. They dug trenches. They had 5 guns in the area over a long drawn out way, but opposite here near Fort Wiley, just beyond those cooling towers, they had little pom-pom machine gun, and Louis Botha was in this area as well. And anyway, early in the morning when they started, as I said, they were too far in and they overshot the mark and missed everything anyway. But thereafter, then of course the Boers did immense damage with their rifle fire because they were close enough, understand, and with their guns to put them out of action here. And it was a desperate situation. Buller had come up on horseback from further down at Clouston. He arrived in the area. He moved back. Now behind us there were the Royal Field Artillery guns here, but behind us in that wooded section there were naval guns, which had a longer range. There were 6 had a longer range than these.
Yeah.
And he was moving back in this area during this shelling going on, and next to him was Captain Hughes. You saw his monument.
Yep.
Medical man.
Yep.
And he was killed outright, and Buller was winded, I think, by a fragment of shell, which upset his thinking, which was already a bit dodgy, and
hello.
Caused him to,
Hi.
you know, really panic. So it was not long into the shelling that Long was shot and injured to the liver, and they took him and put him on a donga over here.
Sure.
And who was in charge of the guns? And it was chaotic. And as they were firing, the gunners were falling. And as you saw at Clouston, I never really realised it was 29 gunners altogether.
So each of these white is a name, or each of these white monuments is a name.
Yeah, it's a number.
A number.
Yeah.
And that's Freddie Roberts.
Then what they then run out of ammo. Apparently, they sent back no ammo. They couldn't get the ammo, and then what with Long being injured and what have you.
Yeah.
Situation was dire, and although it says at one that they stood to their guns until they were out
of ammunition.
Out of ammunition.
Right.
And the guns were then abandoned.
Some of them were saved, some were lost.
Some were saved, 2 were saved, yeah,
right.
And some were lost. And then they had the call to save the guns.
Yeah, there's a famous etching or a painting of "Save the Gun."
Save the guns, and they run forward to save the guns.
Yeah.
And Freddie Roberts was badly wounded right here in this action of saving the guns, and he was taken down to...
Was it a gut shot, do you think?
I'm not sure what it was, yeah. And then he died 24 hours later, and as you saw, we went to the Jubilee Cemetery there. Others were... The Boers had been on top, and although they got up a little bit, they withdrew. And he was killed in action near this river, stream, Gombe Stream. They mention it.
Right.
That is where he was on his way there, and he was killed in action here, I suppose, from Boer fire.
From the heights.
Yeah.
Sangwane.
So you can see up here.
Yeah.
The Boers had the high ground. They were in the area before the battle. They knew the setup.
Yeah.
And they outmaneuvered the British yet again. Or to start with, this is the first major battle. So you don't press anything?
Yeah, don't press anything, just hold it like that.
Just hold it like that on this side?
Yeah, that's right. Just move it across a bit, get rid of that. Yeah, like that, perfect. Just colour that, we'll cruise through town and we'll catch an idea of Colenso as it is today. And I can slow that footage down. That's it. Just till we get to the end of the street. This is where the
When I came here 30 years ago, it was quite neat still, and you could visit the hotel and have lunch there. And
I bet. Yeah, it would have been a pretty little town. Now it's filthy, grubby, broken,
terrible.
Africanized. There's bars and prison bars everywhere. The old hotel looks like it's boarded up. That's it. And these old places, they would have been quite grand with the facade at the front there. But you can see all
It's
the
just
wiring.
I suppose there's just no business here.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a mosque there.
There's a mosque that might have some business. Oh,
And the municipality is, buildings have closed here, I think. The post office is closed. Colenso Magistrate Court, I'm sure they all come to Ladysmith.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's open still.
Okay.
Oh, that's finished.
And finally, this is the
And then we're going to turn around here across the bridge. And then you had the police station, which they built a new building here for the police. So
there's some little trains.
And we're going, that's very nice. That's called Tigella. And then Hart got caught in. He should have.
I can see one little stretch of water there. That little shimmering silver.
No, yeah, but
No.
that's an offshoot. The Tigella runs. Where the trees are there, round. Okay.
That ring of trees in front of that brown patch.
Okay, there's a brown patch. Then there's the trees like a U shape. See them?
Yeah.
And the green in the middle is the loop. Now the entrance to that loop, there was two drifts that he could have crossed to get across the river. Do you understand?
You see that loop?
But he went into the loop.
There's a loop there.
And the Boers had a gun on this hill here, see it? So they shot right into them.
Oh, yeah.
And they had barbed wire all around the river.
Okay, I get you.
Uh,
So the trees going around like that, that's the loop.
That's the loop.
Okay, we got the loop, folks.
Yeah.
Loop to loop.